Questions on towing with electric vehicles have been dominating forums for some time. That electric vehicles lose their range radically when towing. That when an EV sports 250 miles in range, connecting a trailer or a haul that's two-thirds of its curb weight also brings down that range by an equal proportion, and the likes. So while all these are well-grounded concerns, we thought of examining this topic. The fabulous team at OutOfSpec Studios recently conducted a number of real-world tests on the only four trucks available in the US market today: the Ford F-150 Lightning, the Rivian R1T, the Tesla Cybertruck, and the Chevy Silverado. This now provides us with useful data points to understand electric vehicle towing in real-world conditions. I will leave the links to these videos from OutOfSpec in the description. They are long and maybe some of you will like to go straight to them for all the fun. In this video, we will scrape the key insights and data points from them and other useful resources that help us establish the impact of towing on range. And there are some interesting twists here. So let's get started understanding these numbers and then let's analyze factors that affect towing. Many of the numbers are not available in the out-of-spec videos offhand and have required us to deduce them. You'll see that in the video ahead and our made assumptions. As usual, we will throw in the chapters for you to view the part of the content that is the most of your interest. So let's get into it. We looked at two tests in particular. First was the 70 miles per hour real world range test in Colorado, and the second was a very special towing test with the same four trucks from Denver to Grand Junction, also in the state of Colorado. These trucks are the only four currently available in the US market, with one of them only available to fleets. The link to that video is in the description. In the towing test, the link to which is also put in the description, the out-of-spec team drove four trucks roughly towing similar weights. That weight was primarily a Tesla Model 3, which with the trailer was roughly 6,500 pounds in weight in all. This was a great real-world illustration and we would like to congratulate out-of-spec for it. Based on the two tests, we could check the range and efficiency with and without towing, which now provides real-world data on the efficiency losses related to towing. So while the video did not lay out the numbers of the towing barring a few, the numbers of the 70 miles per hour range test were clearly spelled out. Together, we were able to draw significant inferences. The Silverado, which had the largest battery, cruised to victory when towing. The roughly 243 miles as seen on Google Maps one way, or 486 miles in all in our estimates. As we don't have accurate numbers from this test, we are putting in our own estimates and joining some dots, but they are adequate for all of us to draw good inferences upon. The Silverado had a big battery, we estimate at 215 to 230 kilowatt hours. These are basically two packs, one on top of the other, that can charge together at 400 volts. It left Denver at 100% and reached Grand Junction at 14%, where it was delivered 185.5 kilowatt hours. And it returned to Denver in all but that one charge and was at 14% when back. There must certainly have been charging losses, which we assumed at 10%. So the battery may have accepted say 170 kilowatt hours. That's 243 miles in 170 kilowatt hours, or an estimated 1.43 miles per kilowatt hour in efficiency. The Silverado was back in Denver at 14% in state of charge, which is another 243 miles in our estimates, during which it even encountered a snowstorm, which must have hurt range. That's another 184.9 kilowatt hours consumed, or 355 kilowatt hours in all, for 486 miles, or 1.3 to 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour in efficiency towing 6,500 pounds. We'll take it at 1.35 miles per kilowatt hour in efficiency for 6,500 pounds. The Chevy Silverado had delivered 433.7 miles in the range test with an efficiency of 2 miles per kilowatt hour. Towing about 6,500 pounds over the 500 odd miles, it had a mere 33% drop in efficiency, which dropped to 1.3 to 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour, or 1.35 miles as we assumed. The Silverado is currently available to fleets only, but will surely get into individual hands in the used and other marketplaces. The Ford F-150 Lightning delivered 281.7 miles at 2.1 miles per kilowatt hour in its 70 miles per hour real world range. Another useful channel, State of Charge, too had seen a similar result of 2.1 miles per kilowatt hour efficiency in their own 70 miles per hour real world range test. We were not able to source the entire set of numbers of the remaining three trucks when towing, but with what we could, the F-150 did 286.2 miles at 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour by the last visible number at one of its stops midpoint. That's a drop of 38% on nearly two-fifths of its 70 miles per hour range. The Rivian R1T delivered a group leading efficiency at 2.63 miles per kilowatt hour, delivering 345.2 miles in its real world 70 miles per hour range test. By the last visible number, the R1T had done 237 miles at 1.29 miles per kilowatt hour, towing the roughly 6,500 pounds, which was a whopping 51% drop or half its 70 miles per hour range. Both of these could be a bit distorting, as the return numbers could have been better, cancelling the wind it encountered in the first and on also missing the storm that the Silverado encountered, as even mentioned by the driver on the Rivian R1T. Never the same, these are the only numbers we have. The Cybertruck delivered 304 miles at 2.47 miles per kilowatt hour in the 70 miles per hour test. We could not see any range or efficiency numbers on it when towing. It lost the stated towing race on some poor optimization by the driver. We could expect it to be equal or under the 1.5 miles per kilowatt hour and with possibly better potential for optimization with its accurate navigation, with a different driver on perhaps even a different day. We found a separate test on the TFL channel where TFL got 137 miles range on the Cybertruck with 1.1 miles per kilowatt hour efficiency or 900 watt hours per mile. They were having a 7,000 pounds trailer doing 60 miles per hour, which could have been 110 miles at 70 miles per hour back of the envelope. The Cybertruck also carries other problems mostly due to its design, like its headlight that can easily block with snow, its rear charging port, and its rear shape that lets in plenty of air that adds resistance to the haul affecting towing range. We will illustrate this in a moment. Keep in mind that this was but one test in a given set of conditions, but never the same useful real world insights over a long enough distance. Let's look at some general dynamics of towing. The basic range of an EV has several factors working on it. At the broadest level is its aerodynamics. So if you compare any two vehicles, their shape can tell a lot. A broad shaped SUV will often trail a sleek sedan in range. When towing, however, we see an interesting turn. The shape of the vehicle here has an additional twist to offer. Without the load at the back, the coefficient of drag multiplied by the frontal area in meter square or the drag force that inversely affects efficiency appears to reverse with the load behind. That's puzzling at first. To illustrate from a test conducted by Mercedes, in which a sedan with a drag force of 0.61 and an SUV with a drag force of 0.95 were compared. With a higher number indicating poorer efficiency, the sedan was 56% more efficient than the SUV given other constant conditions without any attached trailer. Adding two equal weighted trailers to the sedan and the SUV could see the drag force rise to 2.14 meters square or an additional 250% for the sedan, while for the SUV it would increase to 2.09 meters square or 120%, reversing the advantage and actually making the SUV more efficient. That's truly interesting physics in this topic. That's on account of the extra resistance the trailer experiences on the sedan in comparison to the more voluminous SUV. Comparing this phenomenon with the out of spec test, we see how the Silverado outshone the rest, towing, even when performing below most in the regular 70 miles per hour range test. Some interesting things to keep in mind when it comes to towing. First and foremost, big batteries that generally symbolize inefficiencies are actually more efficient when towing. They reduce charging stops and trips and also seem to reduce efficiency losses as seen with the Chevy Silverado, especially when they are boxy in shape and reduce the extra resistance on the trailer. Secondly, charge port locations matter. Charging can get very difficult when towing. if the ports are in the rear. The driver's side on the rear or passenger side in the front are generally suitable for the J3400 connector or the Tesla NACS plug. Most US automakers have signed up for the NACS port here in the US. When towing, the passenger side front port is hence the most suitable. The Cybertruck itself has it in the driver's side rear and is found unwieldy for charging when towing. Finally, it's worth keeping in mind that over 99% of the trips and over 90% of users never tow even with a truck. Never the same, those needing to need to keep these crucial factors in mind. If you have more thoughts on this, do share them in the comments. I hope you like this video as much as we like making it. If you would like to see our early impressions of the Audi Q6, click here or in the description. See you in the next one.